Hi everyone, it's Ben from Trekitt and we're out in the woods by Croft Castle today. With we, I mean got Harry behind the camera and faithful spaniel Tess, who may show up in a few shots every now and then. And we're out here today to discuss Fjällräven's Vardag Anorak jacket, the one I'm wearing right here. So over the course of this video we'll go over what the Vardag Anorak is, what we sort of ideally see it being used for, all of its features and just generally what we think about the jacket. So stay tuned and see what we think of it. So first and foremost, what is the Vardag Anorak? Well, the Vardag Anorak is a non-insulated pullover from Fjällräven using their G-1000 Eco outer fabric. So it's really designed as your sort of outer layer to throw on over everything. We can see it being used for slightly more casual outdoor activities, maybe a bit of bushcraft in the woods or your woodland walks with the dog. That's why we bought Tess today. Or just generally for commuting and things like that when you need a little bit more protection but you don't necessarily need the insulation or you plan on wearing layers underneath. So that's really it, you know, it's an anorak to throw over the top of everything else and just to add that little bit of protection. So what's the Vardag Anorak made from? Well, the Vardag Anorak is made from Fjällräven's own G-1000 outer material, so G-1000 Eco specifically, which is a product that Fjällräven are rolling out across their entire range of G-1000 models. The Eco part comes from the fact that it uses 65% recycled polyester and then 35% organic cotton. That's then melded together to make a polycotton blend, funnily enough, that then means it's a really abrasion resistant and just highly wear resistant outer fabric, so it's really quite tough. Perfect for taking out into the woods, doing a bit of bushcraft, that sort of thing where you might be brushing up against it a little bit more, and just generally for feeling nice and protective. This feels really tough, feels like the sort of thing that will last you years. G1000 can be waxed using Fjällräven's own G1000 wax to make it more or less wind and water resistant depending on how many layers you want to put into it, to make it a little bit more adaptable to the conditions. We do have a video on G1000 specifically, which Harry will pop up in the top corner here, so you can find out a little bit more about G1000 and why we like it so much as an outer fabric. What are its features? So this jacket isn't amazingly feature rich, but it doesn't need to be because Fjällräven have included all the features that you'd want on it and nothing else that you really don't need. They've also made it with the intention of making it very repairable. So G1000 is an outer material. Because it's not membraned, you can just stitch it back together if you do tear it and things like that and then wax over the top and it's good to go. They've also included some redundancy in the jacket, so if, say, the zips go, you also have poppers over the top, so you've got 2 points of closure, so the jacket will still keep going, get you to where you need to be before you can then repair it. But we'll start at the top and we'll work our way down through a full list of the features. So at the top you do have an adjustable hood. You've got some little adjusters on the front here so that you can adjust it down to cinch it in, make it a little bit more head compatible because the hood is fairly big. It's not designed to be helmet compatible, but it is just a reasonably big hood. They're expecting that you potentially will have an insulated hood on or a hat underneath it that you can then pop on over the hood and cinch it down. You do have this front zip, which is a half-length zip because it's an anorak, it's a pullover. So you can use that for venting and to seal out a little bit of the worst of the weather. And as I said, you do also have this little storm flap that's got these poppers on it so that you can popper over, a little bit more protection, but also if the zip fails, you do have those poppers there so you can pop it on. And that's just a little quality of life feature that Fjällräven put on their jacket, just really to make it you know that this jacket is going to last a little bit longer. Moving on down, you have twin entry hand pockets, and this hand pocket, so you've got zips on them, this hand pocket does run right the way through, so it's really nice and comfortable, great for popping hands in, but also for storing gloves and things like that, easy access. It does on the inside have a little elasticated sort of change or coin pocket, just on the right hand side here. Really useful for as I say, storing those coins or your keys. Just above that and in front of it, on this little popper here next to the retro Fjällräven logo, you do have a popper there that is then a big stash pocket on the front. So this is ideal for storing any and all essentials when you're out and about. If you are doing a bit of foraging, it's a nice little pocket there. But today I have a map and a crunchy, which are the only essentials that I need today. But it's a really nice big pocket that doesn't affect the use of the hand pocket behind. So you can still access the hand pocket, and then this pocket then goes behind it there, so you can still access it, no problem at all. Moving to the bottom, you do have an adjustable hem on this, so you can cinch in the bottom. I've cinched it in a little bit because this is a relatively roomy fit. And then on the other side, to make access to the jacket a little bit easier, you do have a half-length zip on the side, which you can unzip completely to get the jacket on and off a bit easier, but it's also really good for venting. To make that a little bit easier again, they have also included a popper on the underside, so when you undo the zip, it still holds the bottom of the jacket closed, so it's not flapping around if it is windy, but you do get that great ventilation there. So one last feature to mention are the adjustable cuffs, which are just simply done on brass poppers. So you get a nice little Fjällräven Fox logo on them, which is a nice little touch, and they are adjustable poppered cuffs, so you get two positions, so you can have them in, or you can have them completely loose if you choose for a little bit of extra room, but ideally you want them poppered closed because otherwise this little adjuster will flap around a little bit. How does the Vardag Anorak fit? Well, I'm 6'3" and I've got a roughly 44-inch chest, 43.5 inches last time I measured. After a comment in the last YouTube video, we did double check and it's just under that 44. So being technical, I'm not quite a 44-inch chest anymore. But this one is a size large that I've got in here. It is quite a roomy fit. Most of the Vardag range is a little bit roomier and a little bit boxier than some of the rest of Fjällräven's range. But this is really designed with layering in mind. So it's your outer layer and it just gives you a lot of room underneath for a little bit more protection in terms of warmth underneath. But this fits really nicely. It's long enough in the body and you do have a few points of adjustment to make the fit a little bit better. I've only got a base layer on underneath it today because it is a little bit warmer. We were expecting it to be a little bit colder out today, so if that was the case, I'd probably have either a fleece or sort of synthetic mid layer on under it as well, which I'd definitely have room for. If I was just wearing this more in sort of shoulder season or like sort of in the evenings, I'd potentially drop down to a medium and still be able to get away with it just in terms of like the chest size. But I prefer for this particular jacket the slightly bigger, more relaxed fit because G1000 doesn't really have any stretch to it. It's not designed to stretch. It means you get a little bit more freedom of movement. And also as a bonus for me, because I've got these really long arms, the sleeves are a little bit longer on the size large, so it just fits my frame a little bit better. Your experiences may vary a little bit with that, but that's why we'd always recommend trying them on if you can. So that pretty much wraps up the Vardag Anorak. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about this particular jacket or shop the full range of sizes and colours, it does come in some slightly brighter colours than this. We went for the olive one today, but they do also do it in a nice sort of mustard yellow colour and then a contrast two-tone colour, which actually looks pretty cool. You might even see a few photos of that knocking about on our Instagram of me when we were up in the Lake District a few weeks ago. But if you'd like to shop the rest of our sizes and learn a little bit more about this jacket, Harry will pop a link up on the screen now so that you can find out a little bit more there. As always, we'd appreciate a like on this video, any comments that you have down in the comment section, and if you'd subscribe to our YouTube channel, we'd really appreciate it. Thanks, we will see you in the next one. Take care.